federal judge has ruled that former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO Michael Jeffries is not fit to stand trial. The ruling comes after Jeffries' attorneys filed for a competency hearing. According to court documents, a neuropsychologist concluded Jeffries likely has dementia, diminished attention, and increased confusion, meaning he would not be capable of assisting his attorneys. The judge also ordered Jeffries be hospitalized to see if his mental condition improves. Jeffries is facing federal sex trafficking and interstate prostitution charges.
Shalom. Welcome to another video. And as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. It's going to be a reaction to the 30-second some clip that I played in the introduction of this video, where the former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO, Michael Jeffries, has now been deemed unfit to stand trial for his crimes of sex trafficking, prostitution, etc., etc. The same old, man. Okay, which a lot of these people, like Epstein, have been exposed, for all the wicked things they do behind the scenes, and that's just guaranteed that if it's being brought out on the news, that is way more things that are probably happening behind the scenes. Okay, but because of this flawed justice system, he has been deemed unfit to stand trial. And see, this is exactly what we talk about, man. Okay, how this system is unjust. Because look at what happened to, we call him Bill Cosby. He was accused of, of drugging and raping women. Which, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. He probably did. But anyway, that's beyond the point. Look what happened to him. He got pretty much the book thrown at him, man. But this guy here, being a rich Edomite, he's getting off. They're talking about he's going to go to a mental hospital. He'll probably be there for a few months, and then, that'll be it. They'll let him out because he has money and wealth, and he can buy, he could buy away, these charges. And this is what the scriptures talk about, unjustness, here in Babylon the Great, because they have one set of laws for the rich and one set of laws for everyone else. It's written within their law for them to be able to have loopholes, on different things, so that certain people can get away, as long as they have enough money and status. So anyways, that's what I'm going to talk about. Yahweh Rachazah, meaning Heavenly Father's will, is edifying to the elect. I'm going to start off here in Psalms 94 and verse 1. In the KJV it reads, O Yahweh power, to whom vengeance belongeth. O Yahweh, to whom vengeance belongeth, shew thyself. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, and render a reward to the proud. Yahweh, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? Because that's what they're doing. To even put this is shameful, and they kind of, you can't really find too many news articles on it, because they're kind of trying to keep it quiet in the media. But this really should be front page stuff. This guy's getting away with, telling how many children he damaged, man. Women and children. He's getting away with it though, pretty much. He's gonna go to a hospital for a few months, and he'll be out, and no one's gonna say anything. It'll just, go away into the shadows. I'm gonna skip down because this chapter is really talking about, how they destroyed Jacob. But once again, they just have set up a system that is unjust. So Psalms 94 and 15, it says, but judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. And that's ultimately what Yahweh Shai is coming to do. He's coming to judge the earth. All that have done wickedly and that have hurt unjustly, is he going to judge. Verse 16, it says, who will rise up against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And we're the only ones that bring these things out. While the Christians are so worried about trying to save Esau and overthrow the Hebrew Israelite ministry, which it can't be overthrown. All right, we're calling out the evil of the world. Okay, stuff like this. All right, these little stories, which ain't really little, but these stories that get pushed into the shadows because it's the people that have money and wealth. All right, let's continue on. I'm gonna skip down to verse 20. It says, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?" All right, and that's what they do. Okay, once again, they set up a society where they people who are rich and powerful. All right, they don't get punished for their crimes. Okay, they get it, and once again, this is sick, man. It's sick, but he's pretty much getting away with it. All right, it says they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. That's talking about us. They're setting up snares because we're bringing these things out, exposing them for their wicked deeds. But Yahweh is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, Yahweh our power shall cut them off. Okay, and that's what's going to happen, man. All right, and he's coming to judge the earth. All right, let's get Galatians 6 and 7. All right, it says, "Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." All right, so, okay, the Lord, he sees all these things, man. Even though you've perverted justice, talking about Esau, right, the Most High, he sees all these things going on behind the scenes. All right, he's going to bring recompense. All right, Colossians 3 and 25, it says, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done. And there is no respect of persons." All right, and ultimately, that's really what I'm focusing on with this video. Okay, a law system that doesn't really bring justice. It has respect of persons, and you get away with crimes if you have the right amount of money and the right skin color. All right, and they've been doing that. They've been doing that for centuries. All right, in this country, man. Okay, letting the guilty and the wicked go free, and condemning the just, which that's an abomination to the Most High. It's Leviticus 19 and 15. It says, "Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor." And ultimately, when we're ruling, okay, these laws are going to apply. Everyone will be judged accordingly, okay, to their deeds. Of course, the Israelites will be perfected, right? But for the nations, okay, everyone will get a fair shake. All right, and that's what you don't get in this society. Okay, you have guys that, you know, which I was gonna say, you have guys that, you know, so-called Negroes that are in prison for life for selling drugs, and then you have flat-out murderers that get out. Okay, and then they're able to go and continue on in life, which, you know, both are wicked, okay, and really deserving of death, right? But once again, if you have enough money and you're the right color, then you can escape judgment in this society. But the Most High, he sees everything that's going on, man. Okay, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai sees everything that's going on in the earth. See, and we know that. That's why, see, we fear the Lord. Okay, Esau, he doesn't fear the Most High, so that's why he does these things. This is Proverbs 15 and 3. It says, "The eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good." Okay, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is seeing everything that's going on in the earth. All right, matter of fact, let me get this quick precept out of the book of Sirach, chapter 23. It talks about the adulterer. All right, and it talks about how he, as long as men don't see him, he thinks that he's in good case. Okay, this is Sirach, chapter 23. All right, Sirach, chapter 23. And I'm going to start at verse 18. Okay, and really, you know, this adultery is really applying to spiritual adultery, but also in the physical adultery as well, because that's, you know, both are punishable by death. This is Sirach 23 and 18. It says, "A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, Who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins." And that's pretty much Esau, man. Okay, that's how Esau sees things. All right, Esau's and 2/3 of our people have followed behind him in his ways. All right, so when it comes to spiritual adultery, all right, they don't think that the Lord is ever going to punish them for worshiping these idols, or even in physical adultery. Okay, what do you hear in the music that Esau has pushed out upon our people? Okay, they always talking about taking the next man's woman. All right. And that, once again, in their mind, as long as nobody sees them, it's all good. All right. But verse 19, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. See that? So the Lord sees everything that's going on. It says he knew all things ere ever they were created, so also after they were perfected he looked upon them all. And this man shall be punished in the streets of the city, and where he suspecteth not he shall be taken. All right, and that's what's going to happen to Esau Edom, essentially. Okay, Esau is about to be, his punishment, his judgment is going to be on full display for everyone to see. Okay, and where he suspecteth not, he shall be taken. Esau doesn't believe that his kingdom is able to be taken down, but Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to bring him down in front of the sight of all the heathens, in front of everybody, right in the street, and the streets of this city. Okay, so once again, the Lord, he's seeing everything that's happening, man. All right, he see how you pervert justice. Okay, Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And how do they do that? They have a different set of laws for rich Edomite men than they do for everyone else. It says, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. How do they do that? And who are the widows and the fatherless? It's talking about the children of Israel. We're the ones that are under the curses, snared in prison houses. Okay, which the main prison house is America, Babylon the Great, but also, okay, on a micro level, who's mostly in the prison houses? Jake. What happens when you go to prison? Under the 13th Amendment, you are now legally enslaved to the state. All right, and they can use you for pretty much free slave labor. All right, pennies on the dollar. Okay, so that's how they rob the fatherless, and they'll throw the whole book at an Israelite, but let this devil get off scot-free. All right, it says, verse 3, and what will you do in the day of visitation, and the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will you flee for help, and where will you leave your glory? So you're not, what are you going to do in that day, in the day of the Lord, man? Okay, you're not going to escape. And we'll close out with this. Job 24:23. It says, though it be given him to be in safety, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways. Because this guy, he getting off, man. All right, he's in safety. The Edomites as a whole are in safety. Okay, and they rest in that. Yet his eyes are upon their ways. Yahweh Shemel Shai is seeing everything that's going on. All right, verse 24. They are exalted for a little while, but are gone and brought low. They are taken out of the way as all others, and cut off at the tops of the ears of corn. So they're not going to escape. Okay, eventually judgment is going to return unto righteousness, as we read earlier. Okay, so the Most High, he's going to, all right, once again, repay every man for everything that they've done in their body, in the flesh. Okay, so once again, just another example of Esau's, unrighteous laws and decrees, his unrighteous judgment, on the earth. Once again, a rich Edomite is able to get away with crimes because they judge impartially. All right, and that's a crime within itself. And once again, the Lord is going to hold them accountable. There's not supposed to be respect of persons in judgment. But all right, that's Esau for you, man. Okay, and the Lord, he sees it all, and he's going to bring justice and judgment on earth, and that's what we're waiting for. That is the hope, all right, of the elect. Okay, the hope of the saints. All right, so anyways, I'm going to close out with that. Yahweh righteous, I was edifying. As always, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachash. Until next time, Shalom, and abide with ball.